Hello everyone, my name is Cephalan and welcome to episode 14 of the Tides of Numenera Torment. This is a playthrough that I've been neglecting for the past month because there were a lot of bank holidays and I had a week out in some other country that I had to go on business, and then I had a week vacation and all that kind of stuff. So there wasn't a lot of time to come back to this, but I am able to continue now. I had been able to give you a little week, or at least a week or two inside, so maybe there were just 2 weeks without, or 3 weeks without an episode. So I'm sorry for that, but we're back again with our Mystical Jack who masters defense. I have not yet found cool shields or anything like that, but we need to check whether or not we can, we should use this item to get a little bit of intellect back. I haven't found a place to rest yet. We are, just as a reminder, if you're watching this as a playthrough, we are in a lab from our former master. There was something in here that we got, and there was a fight and we died. That's as much as I know. Now, let's continue onwards.
I'm going.
If we have checked the mirror. Alright, you step back into the semicircle of mirrors, sensing the pressure of invisible eyes on you. Let's watch the purple glow inside the mirrors. As soon as you look at the mirror to your left, a torrent of radiant light flows through you, nearly tugging you off your feet. You regain your balance just in time to see the light pass into the mirror on your right. In that mirror, you see a machine aglow with the same purple light you spotted before. If you allow the light to carry you, chances are that it will take you wherever that machine is. I studied the lenses and mirrors again. The larger ones respond to the slightest touch of your mind. The smaller mirrors strain, creaking to study you. I would like to find the third companion. But then again, it's my decision. And I'm now here, so let's move the slivered mirror that shows the red band around my neck. Mentally, you jostle the mirror and feel an invisible noose close around your throat and tighten. Gasping, you sink to your knees, fall to your side, and as your vision goes dark, you realize that if you survive this death, you've found a shortcut into the labyrinth. How convenient.
I'm faltering. I'm hurt.
Okay, just like that. Great! Great! I just died again. It's making me so happy. So much happy. Let's ask the guy if anything has changed. Has anything changed since the last time I was here? Look around, it's your mind. I think I'm ready to go.
Alright.
That is BS.
Of course.
Only this thing. And we know that already. Great. There's this glass door, and that's it.
Go.
Cool. Let's go back. Let's go back into that. Weird mirrors.
Come now. Enough dawdling. We have a world to see.
Yeah, we have a world to see. Let's check. Look at the purple glow in the side mirror again and allow it to carry you through the opposing mirror. A flood of purple light streams from the mirror as soon as you look at it. It lifts you from your feet and carries you into the mirror on the other side. Cool. During a crisis, move party members to opposite sides of an enemy to inflict the flank fatal on them. Oh, here we are. That's not really where we wanted to be, but there is that machine. Okay, then
We shall see.
Okay, let's go back into the underbelly. Spend experience points to advance your characters. Experience points is gained mostly from solving quests, but you can also be gained by making discoveries. We know. Yeah. Albert being on the snow generally being at the boats.
Of course.
I want to go back.
In this world, then.
How did we get there?
Yes.
I almost forgot this has been some time until. Okay, we asked that guy. Can you take me someplace under the city? To the Chaining God Sanctuary. We owe Egg Friend for help. Please don't touch anything. We go. Cool. When you expend effort and.
It is done.
Oh, where's the map?
All right.
Weird noises, but we made it to the sanctuary. Part 14 is weird. Okay,
Ready.
let's look back into the mirror again. Because there was one more point. Study the lenses and mirrors again. Okay, they're studying. Leave the two lenses alone.
All right.
Okay, next one. What's that? This device looks like it was once part of some larger device, or network of devices, embedded in the rock beneath the city. Thick cables disappear into holes in the wall. The machine gives off a low hum just at the edge of your hearing. Let's try to figure out how the machine works. Touching the edged surface reveals a display and interface, but it seems unresponsive to your gestures and commands. The display does show a vast network of other devices it must be connected to. If you're reading it correctly, there is a vast array of machines and engines operating somewhere underneath the city. This interface might control them. Let's try to use the interface. You poke it, swipe it, yell at it, speak gently to it. I'm feeling like Daft Punk. Buy it, break it, use it, break it, fix it, change it, make upgrade it, charge it, pawn it, zoom it, press it, snap it, quick erase it. Okay. But the interface is completely unresponsive to your commands. Let's try it again. No matter what you try, the interface remains unresponsive. David.
I'm going.
Wires and cables extend from this device into the rock wall. This doesn't work. Oh, cool.
Yes.
Pick
Now.
something up. What is it? 53 shins. We have a tome of singing thorns. The pages of this ancient heavy book rustle as if waiting to be turned. A cast of tattoo is inscribed onto the title page. Someone has attached a much newer tag to the binding, which reads Exclusive property of Falinda et Steristi, booksellers. Okay. We have a healing sword, which does 8 physical damage plus 4 damage per effort. When critical hits, heals 4 points of health on the wielder. That is great. Heal intellect and instinct charge. Ooh. A light ranged weapon. 4 energy damage, 3 damage per effort additionally. Maximum 12 plus 12. Light weapon bonus, 15% on weapon attacks.
remember that.
Okay. Borrowed and lost. Quest updated. Quest. Journal. Borrowed and lost. Valinda, bookseller in Circus Minor, has accused me of borrowing a very rare book and never returning it. Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. I was here before. I have no memory of such things. It seems that likely the changing god wasn't the real culprit. Perhaps when it was wearing the body that is now mine, it seemed important to Valinda that I find and return the book. Okay, cool. Character sheet. Not heavy weapons. Okay, that can be done. This is a light melee weapon. This is a light range weapon. She has a light range weapon on speed, which is crap. Okay, see, she's gonna get the sting charge, and I'm gonna wear the healing sword because it's just. It's not. Ooh. Nice. They're saying something. I don't know what. Okay, this does a lot of damage. Plus 12. 4 plus 12 is 16 damage altogether, and this will do 16 damage altogether. And a critical hit, 4 points of health. Cool. And the shield monster, no. The counter attack could be read. Okay. So that works out. Anything else? There's a big painting on the wall. There's another device. 2 other devices. Alright, so let's look at the painting. Sorrow looms from the skillfully created mural. You can almost feel its clammy tendrils wrapping around your heart. Its inhuman victims twist and writhe, pleading for an impossible mercy. Let's look at the last device. Some of the glowing bands of this machine have gone dark and seems to be dying.
Go.
Okay, well, let's go to Circus Minor. So I can kill myself here, and I can travel to that. Okay, that could be, interestingly enough, that could be a good point for. Could be a hideout.
All right.
Can you go back from here? The machine is solid now. Its 3 clock faces are fixed on a single point each. The clock's purpose is still a mystery, but at least you can interact with it. Okay, let's examine the machine again. The machine hums and ticks in a steady droning rhythm. Okay, step back. Okay, it looks like some sort of teleportation device. Okay, then let's try to find Valinda. Returned, the merchant says. Valinda wondered why, but did not ask. Here's the Tome of Singing Thorns.
Making a note.
Valinda snatched the book from the thief's hands, the merchant says, doing so. And yes, it was the same book. Still sealed, still worthless, still priceless. The merchant traces the sigil on the cover for a long, silent moment. As a reward, Valinda invited the thief, the customer, to take one of the merchant's more ragged books as payment. Stock space was limited after all, and the customer would be doing Valinda and Staresti a favor. We'll lean forward to examine Valinda's bookshelf. Huh. Interesting. Oh. I don't need to take another book. I mean, I would need to read it. 2 weeks and a day in the pleasure wagons of Awesome's traveling injury and stirring circus. I'm not really interested. Angel and Critical Good, The Rise of Gulen Knights. Not really interested. Humming and Hiding, The Secret of Labyrinths of South. Not really interested. Known Powers, a historical examination of the rulers of the Ninth World. That is one thing I would be interested in, but let's say honestly I'd be embarrassed to take another book from you. The customer admitted. Valinda respected him for that, the merchant says warmly. The merchant thanked him again. Why won't you tell me why you're narrating everything I say? The thief pleaded. He still did not understand that Valinda wasn't speaking. That was the thief was hearing was the passage of time. Well, at least they returned the book. And Thursday is not talking.
Yes.
Okay. Well, at least we finished the quest. Alright. Finished our first quest. Wasn't too bad, was it? Okay, we need to go back. We need to find the third thing. Oh, by the way, I'm actually doing a programming course, and I hope soon, once I finish when I finish the programming course, maybe
I'm ready.
I'll do some live streams of coding. I have an idea in mind of what I can code. It's gonna be some baby steps involved, so if you follow me along with that, if you want to follow me along, leave a comment. Let me know if you want me to finish the course and keep going. Alright, anyway, let's take out the jar. The cold calculating jack. Cold calculating. Apparently a cast of help build the resonance chamber cast medium video don't know the name of this Matkina. Research for Matkina. A mutant named Mapper who lives in the underworld. We know where Matkina can be found. I haven't discovered and actually stood in the Changing God Sanctuary. No Mapper won't I found. Okay. Mappa. There is it. I'm actually standing right in front of it. Okay. Here we go. Have you found it yet? Do you see with new eyes? Have you been to the station there? I can tell you what's in there. Are you joking? Can you really? Tell me. He stares avidly at you, his blue prosthetic gleaming as you speak. His face clears on his skin, and new lines pull themselves to the surface. He moans as if in the throes of deep pleasure. Stitcher there, yes! Like I was there. The eye clicks and whirs for a moment, and then he stares at the new tattoo. That smell! Did you notice the smell in there, Leo? Like lightning and dust. He smiles. My thanks to you. You've done right by me. And, have you heard anything about the murders down here? Murders? What murders? Alarm colors his face, and a faint red streak runs through his tattoos. No one tells me anything, he sighs. One of the drawbacks of being a drifter, I suppose. No one thinks to keep you informed. Then he looks around. Of course, in a place like this, people don't really generally talk to each other much anyway. Okay. Alright. I discovered the location of the Changing God's Sanctuary. He leans forward, and the blue eye begins to gleam more brightly. Tell me about it, he whispers. As you speak, Mappa stares at the exposed patch of flesh on his arm. New lines etch into his skin, unfurling themselves across the space. He smiles tightly and shifts in his seat. Yes, he mutters. Yes! He points to one line. Here, in the void beneath the city. What's this in the mural? He looks more closely at his arm and recoils. Ah, gods, it's terrifying, even for me. From here. He rubs at his skin, as if trying to rid himself of the mural's image. His blue eye looks anywhere but at himself, and he shivers bone deep. I don't envy you seeing that thing, friend. No, not at all. He slaps his face a bit, bringing some flesh to cheeks, and smiles again. Anyway, I owe you a map, don't I? He takes a big breath and says, the White Death is hiding in a place called the Cave of Last Words. It's an old thief's bolt hole. They say Sheila herself used it, but they don't say where it is. He smiles. Persistence pays, though. That's always been my watchword.
Making a note.
There's one way to get to it through the caravanserai, but it's sealed tight, and I never found a way in. But you can get there from the underground. The Stitcher know. They dug there. They can dig there again. Very well. Alright.
Without doubt.
We can find her. Alright. Let's talk to some more people in the next episode. We'll get to it. Paranoid man, woman, Bernoff. Did we talk to Bernoff? I think we did. We did not talk to the palm, did we?
Go.
No, we did talk to him. Man, that's the problem with playing something not for one thing.
Allow me.
We do this. We gotta save. Okay, maybe we make a longer episode then. We save this as Bedtime Stories Part 14. Okay, it's not the end, this is Part 14. Continue on. Maybe we do a little longer one. Right. A friend. Okay. Can you take me someplace other than the city? I'm looking for a way into a place called the Cave of Last Words. It's close to surface on top of city, the creature pauses. Took another human there once. Check, travel where egg friend want we go. Okay.
Who are you?
This woman's skin is white, the color of alabaster and fresh ivory. Flat black eyes surrounded by sharply pointed features stare coldly at you. She wears jet black hair cut straight at the shoulders. Her clothes are functional and drab. Her cloak is fastened by a necklace of 5 canisters, each of different shape. She turns the black device over and over in her hands.
Where did you come from? How did you know where to find me?
Her startled expression becomes a dark glower. A keen blade flickers through her fingers. You're sure it wasn't a moment ago. It wasn't there a moment ago. Calistige leans in close to you. I wouldn't have thought it possible, but it appears we have found someone even more paranoid than poor Allegern. Is it really that important to know how I found you? Yes, because I need to know how to stop it from happening again. And if it means cutting some throats, it's no worse than I've done before. Like I'll do to... Wait. No, you're a cast-off. That wouldn't work. The knife disappears as quickly as it appeared. Her hand steals out and picks up that strange device again, almost of its own accord. She glances at your tattoo. How new are you? What were the circumstances of your birth? When did you happen? Right. Let's not lie to another cast-off. She doesn't seem like the type you want to mess with. Let's be straight. I was born as my body fell from an exploding moon. bastard of creator always finds a way to abandon us at the worst possible moment. Have you heard the stories of Tuck or Infuriate? You should. Silvertide raised a tiny amount. What of your friend? What of your friend? She points her chin at your companion. If you think you can overpower me with mortals, you're mistaken. Oh, she is fascinating, isn't she? Calliste's wicked smile crosses her lips. Matkina says, What did you say? You're trespassing in my home, you know. Coming with a cast-off makes you more suspicious, not the other way around. Trust me, we mean no harm. I don't trust you. That's the problem. The gold tide raised a small amount. But fine. She flicks her hand and the knife disappears. Disemboweling you would just be a waste of time for me anyway. She turns back to her workbench and picks up the device again. Then she spits on the floor and scuffs it with her boot, all nervous energy. So what do you want from me? What can you tell me about the other cast-offs? Self-absorbed, treacherous, leave a trail of misery and suffering. Shall I continue? Also, powerful, scheming, ambitious. Her smile is crooked and quick. But you want names, don't you? She barks a laugh. That's half a sob. You won't get them from me, though. Not now. I remember Aediris, and I remember the first, and I remember Tash, and I killed Tash for what he did to me, for the hole he cut him in my memory. But that hole grew and grew, and her eyes flicker, and her cold gaze returns to you. This is more than you need to know. They're bastards, all of them. You as well. Why are you hiding down here? I'm not hiding. Her rage is quick, hot, and palpable, and something about it makes your vision dim for a moment. I'm strategizing, planning. Why would someone live voluntarily in a place like this? She gestures around her, and her eyes break contact with you. Her emotion leaks from her frame. This is where I stay. It's a bolt hole. Always has been. For those who know where to find it. Even Sheila hid here, they say. And what are you planning? Oh, were you part of my plan? You weren't. It's not your business. Okay, well, let's get to the point. I heard you might know who can repair a device I found in the reef. Something called a resonance chamber. The resonance? A glint of understanding shines in her eyes. Ah, yes, of course you would have hit it there. A cooked grin plays about the corner of her mouth and then vanishes. I know who can help you. Or did. She shakes her head. It slips away. My mind has holes in it. Tash took a rusty scalpel to my thoughts, my memories. I can't. She trails off. She catches hold of the table and it seems to anchor her. Her eyes harden.
Updated my journal.
No. No, you must do something for me. She caresses the black and jack device, knobbed and protruding with antenna. Protruding. I don't know what protruding means. Send me a comment. A sigil reminiscent of your tattoo is emblazoned on it. This is Tash's marecaster. I want you to enter his mare and find out what you can about the jock. About the jock. I'm convinced. I'm convinced that's the key. What's a jock? You don't know? I thought it was common instrument. No, it might not be so much anymore. One of the curses of a long life. She laughs regularly. Passions come and go before you even know they exist. Probably easier just to let them go or make new ones of your own, like some of the other cast-offs. Sorry. No, not sorry. You should know this. You should know about things. History. That's what life is. Knowing and doing. Matkina, you need to focus. Tell him what he needs. She breathes deeply. And yes, she's talking to herself. A jug is an ancient woodwind. And this one was kept in a sealed cave behind massive doors from a prior world. It had powers. But I can't remember what those powers were. And was a Mercast. Ha! I'm really the first one to say the word to you? Oh, you're in for a surprise, dear brother. Now she's calling me brother? Every castaff has one, just like every castaff has this. She taps the tattoo on your head. No one knows what they're for. Our idea is, you used to think they were a byproduct of the transfer process. Just like us. She seems lost in thought for a moment. Then she shakes her head. Wherever they came from, they can be used like a kind of temporal viewer. You relieve an event in the life of the castaff whose Mercasta it is. You relive an event in the life of the castaff whose Mercasta it is. That event is called a Mere. Ah, okay, so you relive an event of a previous castaff. Interesting. Huh. Why can't you enter the Mere? Don't you think I've tried? She snarls with a sudden rage, her knife handspin from your neck. Do you think I would waste my time with a newborn, a thief who steals into my home, if there were any chance I could do this myself? Her shoulders heave up and down with each angry breath. I try, my mind fills with static, like I'm talking to a Merton, only it slashes and stabs and burns me, and she blinks then confused. Why am I angry? Did you... She straightens, flipping the knife back into a cloak. No, it'll all be right. Just find the damn jock, and I'll tell you whatever you need to know. She seems a little bit bipolar. Just saying. A little bit crazy. A little bit of Okay, number 2. Can a Mercasta be used to spy on other castaffs? Not spy. More like seeing pictures of their past, like watching them from inside their minds, the times when they burned or raged or changed, when their life was at a moment of flux. If the jug is a key, what does it unlock? Her burrow furrows. Confused for a moment, she curses. If I knew that, I wouldn't need your help, would I? She lets out a long sigh. You stole that memory from me, alright? If you can find it for me, it will all come back. All of it. Okay, how do I enter Mere? An almost palpable hunger fills her eyes. A yearning. Hold the Mercasta. You'll feel the tug immediately. Don't resist. Empty your mind and let the tides pull you into the Mercasta. She collects herself. Then just watch him. Watch for the jug. When you see what he's done with it, pull your mind away from Tasha's and tell me what you saw. Oh, and don't try to change anything, she says, almost as an afterthought. Why shouldn't I try to change anything in the Mere? What do you mean by that? Nothing serious, she says, as though speaking to an overly concerned child. She laughs suddenly. It's not like you can change the past, but I need you to learn a specific piece of information. If you change something, then you might go the wrong way. Alright, I'll do it. I'll enter the Mere for you. She plucks the Tasha's Mercasta from the table. She looks at it, at you, and back at the device. She licks her lips, as if weighing her options, and then, before she can hesitate any more, slaps it into your hands. It's surprisingly heavy. Do it, she says, her voice heavy. Find the jug. Bring me answers. You focus the device, and you feel something tugging at your mind. Everything is wrong. Tasha's body, yours now, clings like a wet cloak. The world's too bright for nighttime. Everything is too clear. Distances too close, edges too sharp. Memories like blood flies buzz around your head, whizzing away before you can catch them. Hard-ridden Anine have their flanks and huff behind like you. Like you, they've gone too long without rest, and there is Matkina, a much newer Matkina, as drawn by a pandering portraitist. Too soft, too fresh, too pretty, all wrong. On the wastes, you see the light of campfires, and in the humble village before you, a bigger, brighter fire burns. It's a pyre. Inside, a body that's too large burns too slowly. Greasy coils of smoke rise into the night. Villagers circle the bonfire, wailing and shaking. The Hatman's rough voice continues the ritual. From exile you're released. Among the mourners some echo. You're released. You're released, yay. He throws a handful of powder into the fire. Whoosh! Metal salts, perhaps, and a spray of shining embers rise into the night. Mostly gold, some green, some purple. From wrath you're released, they echo him. As the embers float out toward the plains and fade among the stars and campfires, you hear Matkina whisper reverently, "You are released." 3. Stare at the distant campfires and try to see what they are. Success. You squint your unnatural eyes and focus until the pyre, the village. Everything else fades away. At least the blurry campfires resolve into something crisper, and you see the faint shadows of men around them. Men in long coats and broad hats, painstakingly cleansing the jezzails and daggers. There are perhaps 100 of them. Matkina sees you staring and grunts. Sand knights. From her tone, it's obvious that they are no friends of hers or yours. Matkina, listen to me. We need to find the jug and protect your memories. Find the what? Matkina stares at you dumbfounded, and then she shakes her head. Have a little respect, Tash. This is my home. We're here to save people I've known for years. A moment later she adds, not to mention the only danger to memories around here is you. Tash, try your title surge on me, and I'll burn those fancy eyes right out of your skull. Okay, title surge, okay. There's a smile on her face, like this isn't the first time Tash has teased her, or that she's promised a grisly fate in response. Let's try to remember who I am and why I'm here. The memories buzz, and then the sound flickers of meaning. This body is, you are Tash. You're a soldier under the command of someone named Paj Raken. You're a cast-off who can use the tides to destroy memories. You were sent here for something, an object, but exactly what you can't recall. There's something more to it, something insistent, important, and endlessly elusive. No matter how hard you try, it becomes no clearer. Matkina, this isn't your joke. You sent me here. Now there's no laughter in her hard glare, and for a moment she truly looks like the woman who sent you here. Enough, Tash, she hisses. They're mourning a murdered man over there. And him. She points to the headman. He as good as raised me. I know these people. This means something to me, even if the whole world and everything wrong with it is just a barking joke to you. She looks away from you and back into the pyre. Let's wait until the ritual is finished. We shouldn't start changing. We shouldn't change anything. As the body burns and the mourners chant, you wait in the shadows at the edge of the village. At last, the corpse is consumed, and the headman gives a final cry. To the distant dark you are released, the villagers echo him, then drift away, leaving him alone beside the smoldering pyre. Matkina, with a hiss and gesture, leans over to you. He sniffs the air at the sound of your approach, and with a broad smile counts out, Kina! His eyes are large, milky marbles. He puts hands on her shoulders. You return in unpleasant times. She touches his cheek. I return because the times are unpleasant, Ning. Without another word, 3 of you leave from the fire and enter Ning's dark hut. Ning's home is humble and small, hardly furnished and wholly undecorated. On entering, he lowers his weary bulk onto a hassock and gestures towards similar cushions for you and Matkina, then begins without a preamble. They hung him from a tree, old Garib, took the daggers to him, called him pruning. Blind to others' expressions, he has become oblivious to his own, and he wears his pain and anger nakedly. With a grunt he continues. They sent him home by skimmer, along with a compact they made to the plains people. He waved at the crumpled sheet of paper on the floor. Tick, read it to me. They've promised to put an end to our menace, Kina. He shakes his head. Why? We've always paid the blood price for whatever harm we've done. You know that. They know that. Yes, Matkina says softly. But the Sand Knights won't take shins. You know that, he grunts. The militia's here to help, Ning. You're who we stand for. The small, the threatened, the hunted. That's who we are too. She shakes his hand. Come away. If you tell the knights you're going, they won't force a fight. They have bigger battles ahead of them, believe me. This is our place, Kina. Pachriken will give you a home. Trust her. Ning is silent. I read the crumpled note. You unfold the compact sent by the Sand Knights. The writing is neat, plain, small, and seems to go on in tightly stacked lines. In essence, it is a vow to safeguard the villages and towns of the Verusilian waste from the menace in the Colin village. The knights promise that they will undertake steps to assure that the killers in Colin village never harm anyone again. Extermination is never mentioned, merely implied. Beneath the knight marshal's chop are signatures from various burghers, mayors, and elders from towns and villages on the waste. The knights ask nothing in return from them. The signatures vow nothing. They merely endorse, justifying whatever the knights undertake. Okay, so the waste is a big area with, yeah, it's basically a desert. I say nothing because we do not change anything. Matkina glances at you in frustration, clearly expecting you to help her make the pitch. Listen to me, Ning. Pachriken has set aside land for all of you, deep inside your territory. You'll be safe. It's not so simple, he answers. Not so easy. Plainscore people cannot understand. Matkina hisses in frustration and gives you another look. It seems she is hoping you can move the stubborn old fool. There are 100 Sand Knights camped a few hours' ride from here. You need to make a decision. Ning nods slowly. We're right, of course, even if you got the manners of Margaremodo. After a minute he turns his blind eyes to Matkina. But we can't go without the junk. The what? Matkina says. Up the hill, behind the gate. The cave's been sealed for generations. Inside is the jug. It's what helps us keep our worst instincts inside. If we leave its song, he trails off, gesturing to the pyre outside. After a pause, he leans in and whispers in Matkina's ear. Now, he says, you alone of the plains people know how to open the gate. You work your way up the terraced hillside, leaving Ning to make his case to his people. In the distance, you see that the Sand Knights are on the move. Riding hard toward Colin village, Ning will need to make his case to them too. When you arrive at the cave, and its huge, ancient gateway, Matkina shakes her head. For years I've wondered about this, she says. The hill people tell a fable that the first men and women came out of here. They said the gate would only open when it was time for people to disappear. She shrugs. One way to keep kids from poking around and disturbing the jug, I guess. Something she said stirs your mind, and your memories jingle like a wind chime. Okay, let's try to dredge up the memory that's troubling me. Oh dear. Failure. The more you try to focus on the uneasiness, the more diffuse it becomes, like a fog that turns all sounds haunting and even friendly shapes into nightmares. You're sure there's something awful hidden in that fog, but it seems as if you'll never find it. After you. Matkina shrugs and quickly disarms a dozen ancient locks that have long kept the cavern sealed. With a gasp, the gate opens, and without waiting, she steps through. You follow. What you find within is no cave tunnel. In fact, there is no stone at all. Rather, it's a smooth hallway made of greenish phosphorescent ceramic. Under its glow, you and Matkina take on the look of the unburied dead. There seem to be no side passages, no chambers, merely a single path that curls ever inward, like you're in the shell of some great nautilus. From time to time, the walls are adorned with lifeless ciphers, arcane charts, even scorch marks, as if from a struggle. They tell no tale for you to hear. Dead men tell no tales, as you know, huh? At last, you reach the tunnel's end, and there, on a pedestal, before you is what must be the jug, a kind of reed flute that plays an endless, formless song, at once almost too faint to hear and too haunting to bear. Whether the music is caused by the breeze blowing through the tunnel or by the jug itself is impossible to determine. The ceramic pedestal beneath it, alone of all the devices in the cave, still pulses with living energy. That energy causes the jug to float a fraction of an inch in the air. It doesn't rest on the pedestal so much as hang above it. So, says Matkina, here it is. While the jug and the wistful, wind-blown notes is what you came for, it is the pedestal that draws your attention first. Hidden within, the secret mechanism holds the jug aloft, untouched and motionless. As you ponder its workings, you notice something else. A trap. Nestled below the jug is a serrating ring, and tiny, ugly balls of energy leap from tooth to tooth, ready to surge if their field is disturbed. Or mystical. As for the jug, you get the sense that there is more than the music to mere wind over pipes, not just tones beyond your hearing range, but that perhaps forces beyond sound itself, a deeper harmony that resonates in more than the tiny bones of the inner ear. Well, aren't you going to take it? Matkina shoots you a look as sharp as her knives, then steps forward to the pedestal. She seizes it up for a moment, then darts her hand into grabbing the jug. The grace and speed of the motion is uncanny, but not enough. The instant her hand passes over the pedestal, energy lances upward, convulsing her body. For a moment, she's paralyzed, and so are you. But the sight of it, and then her face wrecked pain and determination, she forces herself free. She falls to the floor, smoking, groaning but alive, the jug still clutched in her blistered gib. Pushing herself to her feet, she mutters, "Thanks for the help, Tash." She gestures back to the way you came. Let's go. Okay, now we just need to figure out what happened to the jug. They're waiting for you at the gate. A woman you immediately know to be Paj Reckon and her bodyguard. A half-dozen tattooed cast-offs with drab armor, mismatched weapons, and the languid readiness of predators. Past them in the village below, you see the Scent Knights have arrived and are meeting with Neng and the villagers. Without warning, one of the bodyguards lowers his weapon at Matkina and fires, but she's already moving and takes a glancing blow. A knife in her hand as another glaive aims a new device. Before Matkina can fling her blade, she's frozen, trapped in shimmering energy. Paj herself aims a tiny cipher at the jug. Others watch, paying you little mind. What are you doing? As you try to speak, Patch raises her empty hand, and such is the force of her will that you fall silent. Without pausing, she activates the cipher she's holding in her other hand, and a thin beam shoots forth. The jug simply disintegrates. Oh, there's the jug gone. In a village, chaos explodes. Where once Neng and his hill people stood, there is now a writhing mass of tentacle things which fall upon the Sen Knights. Caught off guard, a dozen knights die instantly. Others open fire. Inside the energy field, Matkina trembles with rage, her burning eyes flicking between you and Paj. Paj sighs. This is an unfair way to reward friends, Paj says, but one must secure victory and make amends later. She points to the slaughter below. Those Sen Knights are irreplaceable. With a single stroke, we've shifted the balance of power in the Varuxan waste, and you loosened our enemy's iron grip from 24 villages. You've served the militia well. Oh, right. I'm part of the militia. Let Matkina do. Of course, Pachances, as we planned, but first wipe her mind. Then we release her, and we see whether she finds her way home to us, where she belongs. That should be within your power, within Tash's power anyway. When the Tide search through him, he can destroy memories, the same way you used the Tides to escape the sorrow in your mind. But for all you've become accustomed to wearing his body, you feel no special attunement to the Tides, no sense of power over others' memories. In fact, within this mirror, you hardly feel the Tides at all. Okay, so the Tides give you special powers, too. Fine. Oh no. Try to wipe her memories. You have no idea how to wield the Tides as Tash would. Indeed, no idea how to wield them at all. The Tides have worked through you, not vice versa, and here in this alien body you have no greater mastery. The best you can do is focus your mind and gaze upon Matkina, willing a way to wipe her memories clean. She meets your stare, and her eyes have a clarity and half-vacancy that you've seen, that Tash has seen, before she kills. She's past anger now, and come to cold revenge. But whatever wishes lie behind your gazes, nothing has happened. No rush of tides, no shattering of the field that keeps her bound. You've failed. You cannot wipe her memories. Tash looks at you impatiently. This is not the time for dallying your playing games, Tash. We need to leave before the Sen Knights finish with the villages and turn their guns on us. I don't think I can. Pash scowls, and her bodyguard's languor shifts ever so slightly toward action. They have no doubt learned to read her, to anticipate her will, to kill almost before she even gives the word. You can't or you won't? She asks carefully. Both. You can't treat Matkina this way. I wouldn't help you even if I could. Pash shakes her hand. This isn't a Tash I know, she says, stepping forward. Not to threaten, but to shrink the gap between you. I ask too much of you. I know it's hard to see a friend, a partner, as an abstraction. She shakes her head. We're fighting for our existence, Tash. For our dream. Not each for her own life, her own whims. For our collective lives, our shared goal. We have to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, and hold the line. I've heard the same voice you're hearing, Tash, telling you to trust your heart, do what you know is right. It sings beautifully, and nothing feels as good as self-righteousness. Certainly not the satisfaction of a hard job done well. But that's the voice of pride, Tash, of selfishness, egotism. Oh, it sounds sweet and noble and just... but it's not. She puts a hand on your shoulder. Humility, Tash, is accepting that others know better than you, and sacrifice isn't showing away your life because you know it's right. That's self-indulgence. Sacrifice is doing what you know is wrong because it's your duty. She points at Matkina. How many dozens have you helped her kill? Did you think they all deserved it? I assure you they did not, but it was necessary. So is this. A soldier who follows orders is an asset. A soldier who does not is a liability. So now I order you, soldier, destroy her memories. I'm telling you I can't. Power scrutinizes you for a moment, then nods. It happens. She gestures to her bodyguards, and without a word, they grab Matkina and fling her over the cliff. Still trapped in her energy field, she can't even scream as she crashes into the rocks below. In the village, neither side has the upper hand, and between the monstrous hill people and the cornered sand knights, no quarter is given, no effort is made to avoid collateral damage. It is carnage, no more, no less. It's time to go home, Patch says. The airship waits. She gestures and leads her bodyguard away, plainly expecting you to follow. Follow Patch into the airship. You stand with Patch at the prow of her airship, looking down on the convulsing village. The sand knights, the 3 dozen or so still standing, finally have the upper hand. They move in a defensive square, hurling burning brands into any building still standing and unleashing a full fusillade on anyone that emerges. Only a few of the monstrous hill people still live, skulking in the smoke among the rubble. You can see them from your vantage. Perhaps they'll kill more Sand Knights before the battle's down. But whatever the final tally is, it's clear that Colin Village is gone. And Matkina, lying broken somewhere among the ruins, is gone too. Patch's face is stoic as she looks down from the ship. Perhaps with your preternatural eyes, she can avoid seeing the individuals ground up by her gambit and can see only a strategic point and the numbers in it presents in the grand strategy story. I'm getting a little dizzy. Or perhaps she has simply learned to set an example to her subordinates in the militia. She sees you staring at her hand and gives her a small smile. A generous one, if it's real, devoid of irony or cruelty. I'm proud of you, she says, and then she walks away to her cabin to plan some new battle. As she does, Tash's body slips away, his mind lets go of your own, and you're falling through space once more. Through space and time, falling homeward.
I'm ready to learn something new.
My dominant tides have shifted. As your consciousness rises from the shadow of the mirror, something clicks in your mind. Something has changed deep inside you. What? Matkina stares at you, the shock painfully obvious in her face. What did you do? I remember Tash cutting me. I see the holes in my mind. I remember him forcing me to ground, tearing out my history with his tides. But I have other memories now. They're real. Tash didn't do it. He could have, but he didn't. He tried, but didn't. He didn't touch me, didn't violate me, but I remember his mind pushing at me. But no. She holds her head in her hands, shaking, her voice becoming thick. The 2 strands of memory. This is pulling me apart. She looks up at you, tears streaming down her cheeks. No, it's pulling me back together. I remember now. That hole it's almost gone. You changed reality. You changed it. She stands, drying her tears with her sleeves. I don't know if you meant to do that, but you've done more than your part of the deal. I know. I kept her from wiping your memory, damn it. Come on, give me some credit here. Oh, man. You asked about the resonance chamber. I know it. Mazov's the guy you want. He can't fix anything. He might have even helped design the chamber you're talking about. Your best bet is to look for him in the cast of Sanctuary. Mil Avest. There's a cast of Sanctuary? It's a sanctum, a refugee created by the first in our sire. It's shielded from the It's shielded from the sorrow, supposedly, she shrugs. Our siblings like to hide there until they can't stand each other's company anymore. Can you take me there? I could use your help. I'll take you, but don't expect me to hold your hand. Probably better that I bring you personally anyway. Keep an eye on you. Make sure you don't get lost or killed. She walks to her table and unrolls a map of Saga's protectorate. We're not going to find it by walking there. The entrance is a secret, known only to our kind. Here, she points at a spot on the map, many kilometers to the northeast of Saga's cliffs. The Valley of Dead Heroes. There is a hidden portal in the necropolis, and in case something happens to me, memorize this. She writes the numbers 3431 down on a slip of paper, holds it in front of your eyes for several seconds, then crumbles it in her head. It's a code. It'll make sense when we get to the necropolis. We'll need an airship to get to the valley. That ladder leads to the caravanserai. We should be able to hire a vessel there without too much difficulty. With a glance around the cave, she says, I can't say I'll be sad to leave this behind. Thank you. Can I ask some other questions?
My studies have borne fruit.
Fine. What do you want? I'm investigating some murders in the underbelly. Someone said they thought it was your work.
I'll remember that.
I haven't killed anyone in the underbelly for years. There's no money in it for no fear. She crosses her arms. I've got a style, a reputation to maintain. She pauses. But if you found any clues at the scene, let me know. I admit I'm curious who would do a job in that hole. I did find a clue in the underbelly murders. A circle containing a triangle bearing a bleeding eye, with another triangle breaking the circle from the right.
Updated my journal.
She shudders. The Children of the Endless Gate, a splinter sect of the Dendra or Hur, both of them gifts to the world from our beloved siblings. The Dendra are mostly harmless, disgusting as they are, worthless as their creators. They have a chapel in the underbelly. Go talk to them. How many cast-offs are there anyway? She shrugs. Hundreds? Who knows? Supposedly, the changing god went to other worlds, bent time and space, slipped through dimensions, and he always had his spare bodies with him. There could be thousands, millions, for all I know. Whoa, okay. Thank you, Matkina. Let's go. I have Matkina. She has a speed of 10 and an intellect of 7. That is incredible. Let's look at her character sheet. Matkina is a furtive jack who murders. Great. Matkina is the deadliest assassin in the Protectorate, known as such. Cool. Well, she has a little more armor. She has better evasion. Better willpower. And she's already tier 2. Of course she is. She's pretty badass.
Traveling with you is like being part of a circus. Everyone stares.
All the better to hide yourself in my shadow, dear. For who will look at you when I am around?
Exactly the kind of people I'm trying to avoid.
Well, this was a longer episode than expected. It has been a pleasure. If you noticed some glitch, that was because I thought someone knocked at the door and I had to check it. Next time we're gonna level up our characters and we continue our journey with Matkina this time around. I wish you a pleasant day and thanks for watching. Leave me a like if you liked it and go on and continue into Bedtime Stories. Good night.